All right. We should be live now.
We are live.
We are live. How are you?
I'm graced. I am here in the treehouse and I am loving the reality of the fantasy I live
Yes.
here in the Aptos forest.
Nice. Okay, so I am Nigel Wright. Welcome to Voice CEO Conversations, where we speak to leaders and allow them to demonstrate how they walk the talk and pay the cost to be the boss of their own voice. And I'm here with none other than the one-wheeling Mr. Hello Future, CEO of attn.live, Mr. Ian Utile. How are you, my friend?
I'm happy. I'm having a happy Sunday. I've
Yes.
already had a pretty full Sunday. This morning,
Okay.
I woke up with my 12-year-old on my right arm, my 8-year-old on my left arm. And when my 8-year-old woke up this morning, he said, "Daddy, can we play Would You Rather?" And this is a morning routine for us. Now, sometimes Would You Rather only lasts 5 or 10 minutes. Not this morning. No, we had a marathon of Would You Rathering for almost an hour. We played
Rather,
Would
I
You
love it.
Rathering for almost a straight hour. We must have asked each other like 30 different Would You Rathers. So it usually starts off with me and my 8-year-old. And after about 10 rounds of Would You Rather, we get my 12-year-old to participate. And then he starts asking questions. And so we
Wouldn't
did
want
not
him to
talk about,
feel left out.
yeah, now our
So
topic
from the
today,
sounds of it, you woke up and it was here we go. We're coming back right now.
I'm here.
Yes, not a problem. I kept it going with some filler and alerted
I
everybody.
just sat here smiling in silence, just knowing that most likely one of the problems with the treehouse is the internet is a little unstable. It's not like my place I have in SoCal where I have, half a gig up and down. So if that
Yeah.
happens again, you just keep filling the space. But yes, we played Would You Rather. That's where I think I got cut off.
Yep.
So you're taking it away.
So so there it is. I have a lot of strong opinions on today, so I'm just gonna shoot. I'm gonna fire away, and then I'm gonna let you take it from there. How about
Wonderful.
that?
I
Sounds
love
good.
that.
Okay. So our topic for today, and for those of you who don't know, Voice CEO Conversations is we have these real life discussions about relationship and technology and startups, and just what it means to actually engage. When it comes to tech and being human and things like that. So far we've had origin story. Then we spoke about being human yesterday. We were down by the boardwalk. Ian gave us that view. And today we're going to talk about accountability in voice tech, NLP, and AI. These are things that I have super strong opinions about. And that's why I said I'm going to just rapid fire it in. And I'm really going to, well, let's see what happens. Okay, so in a nutshell, here's what I think about accountability in voice tech, NLP, and AI. And just for those of you who don't know, NLP is natural language processing, and it's just how technology manages, large amounts of voice data or audio data, if you would. So just to kind of give some context. So in a sentence, this is what I believe accountability means in all those categories. Protect your voice at all times. I'll say it again, protect your voice at all times. So, very in a more granular way, I'm going to say for voice tech, what that means is this to me. We need to learn and teach as applicable to drive the adoption and the equity in our voices, be responsible for humanity. For NLP, it means for me to make sure that your voice is heard by being transparent about the intent, being comfortable with the reality that I don't know till I ask, and radically pragmatic in our approach to dispelling any myths, clarifying any falsehoods, and making it uncomfortably unpopular for anyone to make decisions in a vacuum. Again, be responsible for humanity. As far as artificial intelligence goes, it's humanity first, last, and middle, period. Stop likening AI to humans. It's not. It has no seat at that table ever. We tell technology what to do. It's only as smart or as dumb, if you want to use that vernacular, as we make it. We may never be able to process as fast. However, we'll always be better at figuring out the unknown and the never been done. Think about this. There is no do not compute error on a human when it comes to necessity, because necessity is the mother of invention, and we're the best at it. So I know that was a lot to process, but I, for one, am super interested in hearing this response. So I'm going to sit back and listen. So there you go.
AI, NLP, voice tech is like the New York Knicks. And the humans that use this technology is like Jeremy Lin. Now, did the New York Knicks help create Linsanity? I think that there's a lot to be said for that. And can this machine learning that we call AI, or artificial intelligence, that we define as voice tech or NLP, can it help humans be their very best? Can it create a stage for us to do something of great significance? I believe it can. But we don't think of the New York Knicks as a human being. We think of it as an organization that serves the world's greatest athletes and some of the world's greatest fans. We think of it as a platform that allows world-class basketball players to come onto their stage and be the best they can with the world watching and develop an audience. And it's already a pre-baked audience. Well, in the same way, these Amazon Lexi devices, these Google Assistant devices, these Samsung Bixby and Apple Siri devices, they are not humans, but they do have a powerful platform that we can leverage, that we can use. So just like we never would think of the New York Knicks as a human being, it's not. In some capacity, it's there to serve humans, and not just those that are using it, but it's been there for past generations and it will be there for future generations. And in the same way, when you look at nuance from the last 25 years, you look at what Apple's Siri's done the last decade. You look at what will be developed when you think of companies like Houndify or others that are breaking into the space. You can understand that even though it's not human, it doesn't have a soul, it still has a real significant place in humans' lives. One of the organizations I'm most excited about is led by my friend John Stein. It's called the Open Voice Network. And they have a couple different slogans. One slogan, which is kind of their official slogan, is voice for everyone. And the other one that they've really pushed lately is voice that's worthy of trust. And so when you talk about accountability, I think that voice technology needs to be for every human. And I think that voice technology needs to be something that is trustworthy. And I think that's what accountability should lead to on an individual scale for you and I, Nigel, and on a group scale. And so those are some of my thoughts on accountability in voice tech, NLP, and AI. We like to keep it to 10 minutes, these live broadcasts. And so why don't you let the folks know about the next 5 that we're going to do, right? Tomorrow we're going to do one, and for the next 5 days. And then why don't you give your final thoughts on our topic for today, Nigel?
Very good. And that was fantastic. I love that you likened it to the Knicks. I appreciate that, as you well know. So let's run down what's coming up next. So following suit, we're going to be talking about tomorrow, comparing voice equity to voice ownership. Then we're going to be talking about non-fun, acknowledging the dark side of NFTs. Then we're going to be talking about the difference between NFT value and NFT attention. Then comes the conversation about the significance of passion and profit That's applicable. And finally, we're going to close on the 30th with a conversation of where we should go from here, just to talk about how we're going to continue this process, because these are conversation starters. This is not the entire conversation. We're set to 10 minutes, and we try to, stay true to that as best we can. And with those fine answers about my beloved New York Knicks included, I will say this. Thank you for joining us. I am Nigel Wright, Gratitude Champion and Voice CEO. And I just want to remind you in closing that our voice is our passport and conversation is our currency. Let us know what your thoughts are on accountability and voice. We look forward to hearing from you, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Take care.